Hi guys, welcome back to Blue Moon Rising TV. I'm Paul, this is Elliot. Elliot, say hello.
Hello!
Right, before we get started with the Swansea versus Manchester City, pick the team and all that, it's a huge one. Quickly, we're gonna, every one of these videos we do a forfeit, right? Last time it was you and Stephen, and it was the Real Madrid game, that was the last time we did it, and you both lost spectacularly.
We both lost spectacularly, and we both had to change our profile pictures on Facebook and Twitter to pictures of us wearing Real Madrid tops, which during the day, right, was fine and it was funny, and people were like, "Oh, we lost a bet," on your Twitter or your Facebook, and you're like, "Yeah."
Well, yeah, you did.
And that's it. Well, yeah, you did, and that's quite funny, but when they knocked us out, and I still had my picture on my Twitter, because I was so furious after the game, I thought I'm not even going on social media for an hour or two.
So just left it there.
Left it there, and then somebody just tweeted me and said, "I think you better take that picture down, mate." Right,
yeah,
threateningly. The
joke went out the window. But as it went and backfired so spectacularly, what we're going to do it again.
Yay!
So with the new forfeit. Actually, we'll get to that at the end of the video. So stick to the end of the video. Before we do the pick the team, we'll talk about. After the pick the team, we'll talk about the forfeit. And it is a big one to justify the end of the season. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the fact that now Manchester City's destiny is back in their own hands when West Ham went and beat them at the last game at Upton Park.
So I've got my West Ham top on in
all wearing claret and blue today.
In tribute, yeah.
I've got the blue, you've got the claret.
I've got claret shorts on as well here, or all in one.
Yeah. So we're themed today for West Ham because they did us a massive favour.
Yeah.
United went 2-1 up. I was in bits watching that game because Martial, he scored 2 class goals. The second one, I don't even know how it went in.
Yeah.
But that was kind of the story of their season, that it was just a couple of flashes of brilliance when the whole team was a bit and then but then funnily enough, De Gea, as you mentioned before off camera, De Gea, the man who's kind of saved their season, became almost a villain in the sense that there was a goal he probably should have stopped.
He just didn't have a great game, did he? And they're relying on De Gea. He is probably their best player, or one of.
Yeah, top 2 definitely.
Top 2. So if he has a bad game, it's curtains. And luckily, I mean, when West Ham went 1 up, I was obviously jumping out of my seat and going, "Oh, yes, come on, West Ham!" And they looked so close so many times, but they were just doing what West Ham do, sort of the same old thing. Andy Carroll had an absolute open net in front of him.
Yeah,
how he missed that?
They missed a couple of chances from like 4 feet out, 4 yards.
So he could have scored that.
It just but don't go too far. No, but you're right. There were a couple of sitters. Didn't feel like it was going to be our night. Then West Ham went and threw the ball into the box a couple of times. Couple of headers in, ugly goals, but absolutely beautiful from my perspective. So it's back in our hands. West Ham, thank you so much for that. Before we get on to the team, we've got to say the fact that it's City's last game of the season, which means we are saying goodbye, finally, to Manuel Pellegrini. Finally, in the sense that we said goodbye before, and now this is the sort of we know it's coming for a while. So it's not just Pellegrini, which we all know about, but there's going to be some players who are going, and the biggest names. Who do you think could be going?
I think and I don't think he'll play. We'll come to that in a bit. But I think it'll be Zabaleta's last game.
That's saying.
I'm not sure he'll get a game, but he'll be on the bench, I'm sure. But I think it's the last time we see Zaba in a City shirt. Yeah,
it's a depressing thought, isn't it? I think if Zaba goes, the one sort of positive I take from that is I think he'll be back in some sort of coaching role eventually. He's a club legend as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. You would hope that if he goes and he goes off to play wherever else, then in 10 years or less than that, hopefully, that he does come. Same thing with Vincent Kompany, innit? You know that Vincent Kompany's the kind of person you want him back at the club when his career's over. Big time. You'd fall over yourself to get him back.
Yeah, he's a leader.
I think Zaba, for me, is a definite. Last season, it was Zaba's going, and he didn't. I think this time, definitely. And similarly to that is, of course,
the big man.
The big man, yeah.
So, I think this is going to be. I think we'll get a clue, won't we, at the end of the game if they come and how they sort of wave themselves off. The thing is, it's annoying because we don't have a definitive end. There's not going to be we're not going to know for sure who's going and who's not. So we've kind of got to guess, and we can't give like a really big send-off, unfortunately, like we can with Pellegrini. But some players are definitely going to be going in summer. So
do you think Yaya's a definite?
I'm not going to say definite, but the sign, because I thought that a couple of seasons ago. He seems to keep sticking around. But we know the whole Pellegrini backstory, they don't seem to get on. He's sold him before, he sold him to us.
Guardiola, you mean?
Yeah, Guardiola. So I just think this is probably about time now.
Yeah.
He's not had his best season in a City shirt, far from it. So I think...
No, he was dreadful in that.
His attitude is probably the thing that will mean that Pep Guardiola will probably show him the door. But hey, I'm not the boss, so that's the feeling I get. So it's going to be an emotional one. And you know, all these players, a lot of them, the Mancini players who've been at the club for a long time, and we've built the whole team around them. So this is going to be a revolution at Manchester City.
It's a totally new era.
You know, however good we feel about Guardiola, which we do, you know, there's a tinge of sadness.
Yeah, definitely. Because you're looking at that team that won us the league after all that time.
Man, making me feel sadder.
You know, you're looking at the meat of that team. Kolarov possibly going was a big part of that team.
There's talk of Silva, there's talk even of company, you know, if his injury is so bad. But we'll see. This is all to be discussed.
Yes.
We'll come back to this again. But anyway, it's going to be an emotional game, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But what we need is the win to make it a fond farewell, as it was. So, do you think that going to Swansea, Pellegrini knows we need a draw or a win? So a draw will see us through into the top 4. Yeah. Do you think Pellegrini will set up for an attack? Or do you think he'll play a little bit more conservatively?
I think he's got to hit him hard. I think it's his last game as well. So from a personal perspective, he's probably, you know, he wants to go out with a bit of pizzazz, I think.
Yeah, the Pellegrini way has been sort of known. I'm not sure he's hit the heady heights this season, but it has been free-flowing attacking football.
Yeah,
when he first came, that seems to be the philosophy, right?
And I think that's what I think that's what he has to do against Swansea. We're playing Swansea at the worst possible time in the season, I think, from their perspective. Their recent results have been great. They've really come into form the last 2 or 3 games. They're scoring goals, man. They're scoring goals.
They beat West Ham 4-1, didn't they, the other day?
Yeah.
And, you know, so
and I think they beat Liverpool. Was it 3-1? The Liverpool win.
Yeah, they beat Liverpool too.
So they are smashing goals in, and we are not smashing goals in.
Yeah.
Regardless of how well we're playing in semi-final of Champions League and how well we play in the first leg of that, got to be goals at the end of it, and we ain't getting them.
Yeah, we need to really step up for this one,
come
guys.
On, Sergio.
So, come on, City. Come on, you boys. Behind that back of that net like you know how. And if Aguero gets a couple, he could even get Golden Boot. I mean, it's going to be a big ask now. He needs to get a couple of goals at least to catch up with Harry Kane, who I think is 2 goals ahead of him.
But he'll have it in his sights. He's 2 now. Yeah, he was 1 minute. He'll have it in his sights, Aguero. And so... You know,
it might be one. We'll check. We'll throw it up on screen. Yeah. Where there's 1 or 2 behind. But yeah, it's a big one. We know he can do it, but he's going to need to, really get his shooting boots on. So let's see. Aguero, I believe in you, mate. I think he'll bag one. We're going to do the City Predictor at the end, so we'll get to that. Yeah. Anyway, who we think will score. Right now, let's do a pick the team. So this is it. No other games to think about.
Nothing.
All or nothing.
Yeah.
There's no sort of tactical, like, let's rest a player.
Nobody resting.
Put out your best team. Yeah. And who does Manuel Pellegrini think our best team for playing away from home is? Let's have a go at guessing it. Number 1 is easy. Joe Hart's going to be in there.
Yeah.
And then in centre-back defence, well, again, our hand has been forced because Vinny's out. Yeah. So we're going to go with Otamendi.
4 months he's out. I mean, would you think... Somebody said to me the other day, I don't think you'll see Vinny on the pitch again.
Who knows? Yeah,
whoa!
Well, he's obviously missing the Euros, which is a disaster for him.
Yeah. The guy's had a nightmare of a year actually. Kind of feel for him.
Yeah, the whole team has struggled, and he, I think with him in there and De Bruyne being fit, we'd probably be in a different situation now. Maybe not, I don't think we'd be up there I don't think we were challenging Leicester, but I think we'd be definitely. We wouldn't be worrying about the last game of the season now for top 4.
What a weird thing to hear, I don't think we'd be up there challenging Leicester. You never thought you'd hear somebody say that though, would you?
No.
After they won the league.
No, fair play to him.
It's been a crazy season.
Yeah. All right, so let's get onto this centre-back part now. So we're going to go with Otamendi and Mangala. They've been strong together when they played together. Yeah. So I've got no issue with that actually, really. Right back. We know who we think our wing backs are, our strongest ones. We know who Pellegrini thinks it is, and he's right in that it's Sanyo on the right and Clichy on the left, especially when we're playing away from home. Like you said, Zabaleta, if it's his last game, who knows? Maybe we'll throw him on if we're winning comfortably.
If we've got a few goals in, maybe we will. But his legs have gone a little bit, and there's no way we should be starting with him.
Yeah, so that's it, pretty much decided. Now things get a little bit more interesting in the middle of midfield. Is he going to go with Yaya Toure, last hurrah, maybe paired with Fernandinho?
Yes.
So Fernando's played well. Is he our best player? Do we think we're going to get that spark from him? I think we're more likely to get it from one of those two.
I think if we're looking for goals, and he's looking for goals because he knows Swansea are scoring, there's no way we're keeping a clean sheet in this game, I don't think. Yeah. So he's got to be looking for goals, and for that, I think you'd be putting Yaya in over Fernando. Any day of the week. Even though Yaya's been painfully slow, and
it depends which Yaya turns up. I mean, and Fernando, I think a lot of people have said that he's really found some form at the end of the season. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in there.
Yeah.
But I just think for a game of this magnitude, although we saw it in the Champions League that Yaya doesn't necessarily even reach those heady heights for the big games, but I think probably Pellegrini. I'm not sure. I think he's probably going to go with Yaya just because he's kind of his man. He's played him almost every minute of every
That's the problem is that you're right, he doesn't rise to occasions, Yaya. It's either you get that one or you get that one. And you can flick a coin as to which one's going to turn up.
Yeah.
Please let it be.
It'd be great to see him curling in a shot from 20 yards again. In off the post, curled off the inside of his boot. Lovely. But we'll see about that, okay? So that's what we're going to say. Yeah. Fernandinho, Yaya. Fernandinho's been immense, so we don't even talk about him. Yeah. Okay, then. On the right, we've got Navas in there. He's been his man all season.
Yeah.
Again, another player that could potentially be on his way out, but we don't know. And I think his work rate, he brings a defensive element to his game. He's probably, I can't really think who else would be there. So I think it's going to be Navas on the right.
It will be. David Silva's out, isn't he?
Yeah.
And you're right, he's stuck with Navas throughout, and occasionally you get flashes of brilliance from Navas.
Yeah.
But occasionally...
He had a really good game against Arsenal. He was probably one of our best players, and he was like getting crosses in, winning headers. It was like a Navas...
He was really fighting for it, wasn't he?
That's the
one we
great
want
to see. So let's get more of that from Navas.
Yeah.
Out on the left... Sterling's not really had the best of seasons, but he's a young lad. There's a lot to go into. So, who do we think would be on the left?
Sami Nasri.
That's it. I think Nasri, we were all a bit perplexed why he didn't play against Arsenal. We met him actually, Nasri, at an event the other day. He's great. I absolutely love the guy, and he's on form at the minute. So I've got to have Nasri in there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And Sterling's definitely one for Pep to play with. Now, just behind the striker, there's only one man who can play in that role. In fact, these last two positions are already decided. You know who's going to be there.
Exactly.
Kevin De Bruyne.
King of the gingers.
He is the best ginger ever. I think if you've got any other nominations for best gingers, I'm not included, then let us know. Mick Hucknall, no. Kevin De Bruyne, number one for me. He has just been immense for us. He was quiet at Real Madrid away, but that was a one-off, and I think he was probably one of our better players. He just still didn't reach where he can.
Yeah. If De Bruyne has an off game, he's not awful. That's the difference. If De Bruyne has an off game, he's sort of a little bit quiet. It's an all right game.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what Guardiola does with him.
Oh yeah, I think he.
You were saying before about him. If you're building a team around a player.
That's your man. Yeah,
100%.
I think Guardiola possibly even signed off on that signing as well. I think it was all planned. Yeah, the conspiracy.
Yeah,
but I think so. So lots of great things to come from him. He's only 24 or something. Yeah. It's amazing. Then, just in front of him is your man Sergio, who's going for Golden Boot. He's a man who knows how to score in the last game of the season. Let's have another Aguero moment.
But let's not leave it until the 92nd, 94th
No, 93-20 is a bit too late, lad. Just get it over. What about 1 minute 20? Is that all right?
How about 3-0 up in the first half?
Yeah, there we go.
That'd be nice.
For our poor hearts. So,
Wilfred, here's one for you. I want to ask you this. Wilfred Boney.
Good point.
Scored, I think it was 10 million goals for Swansea. It might be more.
I don't think he scored 10 for us, has he? No, he's not.
I don't think he's even looked at the goal 10 times for us. So, do you think Boney will get on that? Bearing in mind, he's playing against his old club who he scored a load of goals for.
Yeah.
Is it wise to play him on Sunday?
Is it wise? Probably not. But will he do it? Probably. I mean, he came on against Arsenal in the last minute. He almost got a goal, which would have been like it would have been at least a bit of a redeeming, like, thanks very much. Right, now we don't, now you can go with a bit of a smile on your face. It would have been a Caballero sort of Wembley moment. Didn't happen. Will he get a chance? Maybe. I hope it doesn't have to come to that, but it may well happen. I'd much prefer to see Kelechi come on and cause some havoc if we sub in the strikers. That's our team anyway. What do you think? Have we got it right? Do you think Pellegrini will pick that one? Let us know what you think. Right, now we're going to go on to the City Predictor and play a little game. As usual, we're going to try and guess 3 different things, and the loser has to do a forfeit. Now, let's get started with the forfeit. As it's the end of the season, we've gone big.
We've gone really big.
Yeah, so for this one, I'm already worried about this. So I'm going to, I really hope I win this one. I'm not lying.
Right, here's what happens with this one. Whoever loses has got to drive down to Old Trafford. If it's you, I'll pick you up in my car.
Okay.
If it's me, you pick me up in your car and drive me there, right?
Lovely.
Moral support. You've got to drive in your car.
Just to laugh at you, really.
Down to Old Trafford, right? Get into the car park at Old Trafford, past the security, into the car park, park up,
full
kit, so you're a full kit, yeah? The whole lot, shin pads, the whole lot.
Yeah.
Open the doors of the car and recreate the Sergio Aguero goal.
And we're going to get the MP3, the commentary going.
We'll have the commentary on in the car.
Shirt off, waving it around your head. The whole works.
Round the car park like that. The commentary, doors open on the car, commentary on full blast.
Yeah, and if we get out alive...
See how long it takes us to A, get our heads kicked in, B, get thrown off by security.
It's going to be big.
It's going to be good, and I'm praying that I don't have to do it.
So I
don't want,
I'm going to be doing a few sit-ups before we go out there. In the edit, I can maybe do a little bit of magic.
Ronaldo's body on the
really badly photoshopped. All right, so let's get on to the meat of it. So we're going to have a go at guessing the first goal scorer.
Yeah.
Who are you going to go with? I'm giving you the first choice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I'm not sure we're going to get the first goal.
You were backing him before.
I don't know about Boney. I'm gonna play it so safe with this. I'm not gonna believe it. Aguero,
okay. I don't know why I've just given you first choice. Okay, so I'm going to go with KDB. I mean, this game is basically who can pick Aguero first or KDB first.
That pretty much is it. That's what it's become.
Okay, so now I'm going to have a go at guessing man of the match. Do I play it tactical? And do I go with... I'm going to go with KDB as well, just so if I get it right, I've smashed you. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, tactical defence-wise would have been going Aguero. Who are you going to go with?
Joe Hart.
I'm
going with Joe Hart.
Could
and
be
I'll tell
right.
you why.
It could be a good one.
Because I think Swansea, because they've been scoring so much, I think they are going to come at us.
Don't say that.
Like nothing you've ever seen.
It could be a good call.
I think they're going to smash it at us. And I'm hoping that Joe Hart is having the game of his life.
20-arm Hart.
Absolutely what we need.
Okay, right, now finally we're going to go for a score prediction. I'm going to let you go first, because this is like throwing darts at blindly.
I don't want to do this really, because I've had this score in my head since yesterday, and I can't shift it, and it's 2-2. And I can't...
Caesar's going through. Caesar's top 4, but yeah, it would be a horror show.
Because we do it on goal difference, and that is the City way.
yeah. All right, 2-2. Okay, I'm going to say 3-1 City. I think hopefully we're going to get up for it, but I could see a draw as well. I think that's probably a good call. Right, guys, let us know what you think. Like the video if you've enjoyed this. It's the last one of the season. Comment below. Who do you think is going to be man of the match, first goal scorer, final result? Let us know what you think. Who's going to win? Who's going to have to run around Old Trafford waving the shirt around the head, saying Aguero, this boy here. Right, guys, we'll see you for the match on Sunday. It's the big one, Champions League for Pep Guardiola. Come on, City.